Hi everyone, it's Nick, and today I'm doing a review on the iPhone 13, which I just got recently. I did a review recently of it, but it was too long and it didn't upload properly, so I will try to make it shorter this time. So I just want to say that it's definitely a really good purchase. I'm really glad I finally got it. One thing I love, it has screen recording, as you can see in the upper right. Right now, it's screen recording, and the cool thing about it too is you could has the option to turn the mic on for it, so it makes doing reviews, you know, that I used to do with just the camera facing, talking to a camera. It's a lot easier now. I can go over to YouTube and then look up different video or different stuff. Like I did my Noragami review today. I was able to look up some of the comedy scenes, the action scene, and it makes that easier. And then one thing I also like is it has the newest software, so I could finally do Crunchyroll again on it. I had the iPod Touch, and they quit doing support on those, so I couldn't, use Crunchyroll. I had to do it with, a different device, or I had to go, I guess I could have used Safari, but it would just been more clunky. That was it. I got, as you can see, I got it renewed recently. I got the fan package, which doesn't include downloads, just one viewer and one streaming at a time, and it's $80 a year. It's like about $7 a month, which is pretty good. It's a good package. I don't need to have like the one that has 6 accounts and multiple streaming, the ability to stream multiple shows. I mean, it would have been nice to have the downloads, but to watch offline, but it's not necessary. Barely, even when I had it, I didn't use it that much. I think I could live without it. I could buy like a portable DVD player instead. If I'm somewhere, like when I'm camping somewhere without any Wi-Fi, I could, I can't use data. I could watch stuff on portable DVD player or bring some books with, so it's okay. So I'm back to, watching all these different shows. Like I finished Mashal recently. I'm trying to catch up. It's been like a year since I've had an account like this. I did some of their trials, but it's like we get a week or two at max, so it's not a lot of time to get caught up and stuff. So back to it. I have a decent enough list of shows to watch here. I'm trying to get through. I watch a certain amount of the time. I don't, to stick to one or two shows at a time. But I mean, I try to finish. I go through them. I like to have a little variety, but I try to finish them. Like before I start something new, I try to get enough of a certain amount of shows, and it's hard to explain how many. But anyway, let's continue the review. So what else is on here? It has 2 different camera lenses, which I don't know exactly how they work, but I mean, I could definitely tell it's better. Like there's more stability in, like with the old iPod, it would be more shaky with the camera and all, but like with this, I could hold it easier. It's easier to take a stable shot where it doesn't come out all blurry, and then well, it has this kind of live picture thing, which it's on the upper right here, where you take a picture and it moves for a couple seconds and then stops. And then it has a better speaker in it that fits in the hand better. Large hands, like my hands are fairly big, so it fits in my hands a lot better, which is nice. The old iPod was so much smaller, I didn't even realize. And then the battery's definitely better. The old iPod would die a lot quicker. With this, like I could have YouTube on my, excuse me, I could have YouTube on my pocket, to listen to music while I'm doing stuff around the house, and the battery doesn't die quite as fast as it did. I could use it for several hours and maybe go down 20 or 30%, if even that. And then it has another good feature which I like is typing. I could kind of drag my fingers like this. I can't. Oh no, I think it's called swiping or something. I think that's what they call it. It's great. It makes texting and looking up stuff easier. Well, to an extent, I mean, if I'm looking at something more complex, like um, like an origami, I end up just typing it in, or typing in a few letters and then finishing it by hand, like this. But in general, most things I gotta type in, I could just swipe like that, and then it'll finish it. It'll give me suggestions how to finish it. And I could also just like that, for example, and then see, has I could keep a good chunk of my music on here, and it barely I got so much space in this thing. I don't even know what to do with it. I purposely bought one that was 256 gigabytes because well, as it stands right now, I've already used up a good chunk. I have a lot of videos on here and applications. Probably imagine the videos. I'll probably have to, at some point, have to size down how many videos and applications I have. But anyway, before I had the iPod and each of them had 120 gigabytes. They would fill up, so then the forward they get, the less battery capability they have, which I might want to consider doing that with this too. I don't use all of these. I haven't gotten to playing them all, so I might just get rid of some. Save space. I like to play, especially at night to unwind. I play some of these mobile games, particularly Isekai Slow Life, Solo Leveling Arise. I can get back to Black Clover. At one point, I took it off of here and take a break, but I didn't. I don't think I ever linked the account, or I can't remember which account. No way, I remember what happened. I took it off. I forgot which account I linked it to. No, I take that back. I took it off and I wanted to put it back on, but they make you go through the opening prologue first before you could, link your account, which next time I'm just going to leave it on here. But yeah, some of these I haven't. Could probably take some of them off. I might save some space. Let me look here. Yeah, it's already freed up 10 gigabytes, and I think a lot of it's just videos. I have so many videos on here. I guess it's kind of a disappointment. I'm not going to continue that one. Hoping one day if I were to remake Tokyo Ghoul, I mean, that would be it could have been such a better series. Or Nazarick, I want to get back to that's Overlord. Exilium, yeah. It ended up not being as cool as I thought it would be. So, let's see, yeah, it's already freed up a good chunk of space, so it's probably the videos and the applications. So anyway, it doesn't have a headphone jack, so this means, you have to listen to either buy an adapter to plug in the bottom or use wireless headphones. I personally never like those wired ones. They get caught in everything. I hate them. So, right now I have a wireless headset, over the ear headset, but I have some new AirPods coming. I think in the next week or so they're supposed to come, so I'll be using those more. I like them better anyway because they don't get stuck in a handle or something, and so I didn't like about the wired ones, and then the wired ones wear out quicker. It gets stuck on stuff, and you gotta wrap them up in your pocket. It's a big mess, and I can care less about them, so it doesn't really bother me. And there's less areas for water to get in. I don't really care if it has a headphone jack or not. Another thing about the iPhone 13 is the last model to use the old-fashioned SIM cards, which are like these. If anyone doesn't know, they look like these. I have True Connect, and for right now, they still make use of these old SIM cards. I don't know why they haven't updated it yet, but they claim they're working on updating the wireless ones. I wish they'd hurry up and do it, because I wasn't actually going to go with the iPhone 15 or 16, but they don't use old-fashioned SIM cards. They use wireless ones, and True Connect, they're still in the past with these old things. So hopefully, by next time I need a new iPhone, hopefully they'll get this figured out and done. Anyway, for now, I got the last one that has the ability to use the hard copy SIM card. So, and it should be good for at least 5 to 7 years. The old iPods I had, at one point I had to get a new refurbished one, which is also what this iPhone. The refurbished iPhone works great for refurbished, less money and all. And actually, they didn't make any new ones anymore, so I had to get the 13 refurbished. But anyway, at one point, I had an iPod for like, I think about 7-8 years, and I did a refurbished one at some point. It was like $100 or so. It was pretty good. It works great. I still have it, but I don't really use it anymore. I don't need it now that I have the iPhone. I don't use either one of them anymore. But for a while, I did. It was worth it. I had a new battery in it. For a time, the software was able to update, and eventually, just I think the last one that they made was the 7, which I did have, the iPod Touch 7th generation. They quit doing support on it, so now it's just stuck at whatever, I think it's iOS 15 it's stuck at, or 14. Yeah, 14 or 15. And then, has you could use all these different typical social media apps like X, Instagram, which I use. I use all these generally. And then, you can make folders with stuff like this. Drag them into here. I'm not going to do it with this, but you can. I did that to free up a lot of these, which I'm going to put Zoom in social media. Otherwise, the screen's just all cluttered with all these different apps. You can't really see the nice screen background. Here I did Bleach. Right now I have Bleach for the main one. And then, let's see where. Different wallpapers. Like, here's the lock screen on the left. You can also make your own ringtones with, GarageBand. Like I would go to YouTube and look up. I'll show you in a second. I'll show you some ones I made so far. I made Chainsaw Man OP, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 OP, Wind Baker. I was using one of their bumpers on the iCatch musics, like this here. Notification, but I might switch back to it soon for using it for one notifications. But you can make all these different ones. Like I have like I could take one of these one of these tracks here. For example, if I wanted to, I might at some point do one of these Assassination Classroom openings. Like I could take part of it, like 20, 30 seconds, and make a video out, make a ringtone out of it. I could take any one of these and make a ringtone out of part of it. Or any other track, I can even go to music here, which I might also do at some point. I can make my own ringtone out of it. Another feature it has is you could, if you put your debit card in your, instead of having to always deal with your password, you could type the lock button on the side twice to confirm a purchase, or it also has Face ID. So let's see. Let's say I'm not going to buy anything right now. I'm just going to show you, for example, like if I want to buy just a track or song, confirm the side button, you press it twice, double click to pay. You could do that. So anyway, there are many other features on the iPhones I don't have time to go into. be too long a video, but I think you all get the gist. It was a great purchase. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a lot better than Android. It's definitely worthwhile getting if you don't have one. I had Androids for years. I hated them, so I mean, this has been great.